Hi guys, Rant here. I know I just did one of these wonderful rant videos, but here's another one because a little bit of a tumultuous situation has broken out amongst the DBD community because people are now fighting over the Tools of Torment chapter, but more specifically, the killer, good old the Skull Merchant. A lot of people are fighting, both on Twitter, on YouTube, on Twitch, whatever, about how they feel about the Skull Merchant as a character. This is the dumbest thing that I have ever seen in my entire life. It has to be. Like, how? This chapter is a nothing burger. This chapter is a filler. It is. I mean, like, you could like the killer, you could hate the killer, but at the end of the day, they're probably bottom 5 in the game. They're not very strong. Their design is kind of underwhelming, and their lore is really bad. You're allowed to like that character. You can think that her corny lore is funny. You can think her tacky design appeals to you. You may not think it's tacky. You may think that her being bottom of the 5 in the game doesn't really dissuade you from playing her. That's okay. You're allowed to feel that way. But for some reason, in the Dead by Daylight community, this is delved into either you're pro Skull Merchant or you're anti Skull Merchant. You have people who absolutely hate her, like absolutely detest her. Trying to, like, there's this image floating around that, like, they just copied Trickster's face for the character, and, like, if you put their faces side by side, they don't even look remotely similar, like, at all. Like they just have, like, a similar head shape, and like, that's it. But people are, like, stretching so hard to convince you to hate this character that they're pretending that they robbed Trickster's face in order to build her face. Like, what? Why? That's such a reach. That's such a reach. And it's a nothing burger of an argument. And it's just, it's really, really cringe. It's really, really dumb. Like, she's bad. She's not a good character from a lore perspective, from a power perspective. She's very meh. She's very aggressively eh. She's aggressively okay. And that's it. But, like, to say you hate her? Like, you detest her? Like, what is there? That's a little intense. And then you have the flip side on the other side, which is like, she can do no wrong, right? Like, I can't believe people hate her. And then the people post these, like, 3-minute long videos of them doing normal M1 killer things and going, see, the Skull Merchant's actually a really good killer. It's like something they could do on Clown, something they could do on Myers, something they could do on Pig or Trapper, something they could do on any other M1 killer in the game. Just them having a quick, efficient chase against a survivor that, like, didn't loop very well, and they'll be like, oh my god, see, Skull Merchant's actually really good. It's like, homie, you didn't do anything specific to the character. You really didn't. You just did basic M1 fundamentals with the character in 1, which you could do on everybody else. You could do it on Myers and have an insta-down and a faster vault. You could do it on Trapper and actually have snowball potential in your traps. You could do it on Pig and have stealth and a dash and built-in slowdown. Like, you could do this on literally anybody else and have a better power as well. So the people, and then the people, like, people made it a weird thing. People made it like, oh, they made it like, oh, well, you hate women if you don't like the Skull Merchant, which is, I'm sure there's people that feel that way. I'm sure there are sexist assholes all over the DBD community. I'm sure there are people that have said that, but as a majority, as like a firm and common defense, I feel like that wouldn't be true if the most commonly played character in the game was not the Huntress, right? Who did they just release skins for? They didn't release skins for Trapper and Wraith, who were from Hooked on You. They released skins from Spirit and Huntress, who have very, very high play rates. Huntress, especially. Huntress, consistently, there will be killers that will outrate her upon chapter releases, but consistently across the game's history, the most played character in the game is almost always Huntress. So I don't think that the DBD community hates the Skull Merchant because she's a female killer, when the most popular game across the game's history consistently has been a female killer. Honestly, I mean, look at the strongest killer in the game that was popular for so long, the Nurse, also a female killer. Like, I don't think that take holds water, because some of the most, like, popular and most well-enjoyed characters in the game are female characters. Spirit was, like, super popular for so long. She's a little less popular now because she had her nerf, but like I don't think that holds water, and I don't know why that comes. I don't know where that came from. Like, I don't know where that came from. I think it comes from the idea that, like, she has that weird like model runway walk, which is kind of interesting. She rocks like she walks like she's on a runway. And I don't know why she does that. It's very odd. And I guess some people equated that to like they're trying to make her overtly feminine or something, so they're like it became that. I don't know. Like I that's the only thing I can think of, because she does do a little runway walk when she walks, which looks really goofy and weird. But I never equated that to like, oh well, that's because she's a girl. It's just like she's just walking strange, right? Like she's a little weirdo, right? I never equated that to that, but I don't know. Maybe I'm just not seeing the full situation there. I don't know. But yeah, I don't think that's really I don't think that's why people hate her. I don't know. I just think I feel like this is just such a funny, like, weird thing, because like the Skull Merchant is like ideally the most like nothing burger character to ever exist. Like, they just have info, no way to act on the info, and they're just not strong or remarkable in any way. But like, this is something that the DVD, like, the most interesting thing about this character is the fact that people have chosen to fight over it. Like, this is literally this is the most popular thing to happen since this character has been released. Like, the popularity of this character is almost completely coasting on the fact that people have for some reason made it like a pseudo-political thing and are taking sides about it. That is the most interesting aspect of this killer that has happened so far, is that people love her, hate her, and that's it. like the actual killer themselves is almost completely unremarkable, underwhelming power, underwhelming backstory, underwhelming visual design. Like, she's boring. She's not special in a good way. She's not special in a bad way. She's unremarkable. The most remarkable thing about her is the fact that people are fighting about her. Like, it is the most wild, just like only this can happen in DBD thing to me. Only this can happen in DB. Only the DBD community can find a way to make something so just all right, it's okay, you know, and do like a big thing. And it really is a big thing. And it just like, is our computer just like fighting each other? Like, is our computer just like arguing and fighting this much that like, in the absence of like the chapter being interesting or having interesting perks or something like that, we're just like, we're gonna eat ourselves over like the killer? Like, I don't know. It's just, I mean, it was more like a casual thing. It was just like, oh well, the Scroll Merchant's kind of okay, and then I moved on with my day. But like, ever since that PTB, people have really made it a side v side thing about it. Wow, imagine that, DBD players making things a side v side thing. Wow, crazy. That's never happened before, huh? Yeah, I don't know. I just wanted to comment on if I'm trying to make it like a TLDR out of this little mini rant here, is that literally the Skull Merchant is not worth it. like whether you absolutely love her or absolutely hate her, she's not worth that emotional energy. She is a very unremarkable killer from the top to the bottom. Lore, perks, power. She's a very unremarkable visual design, very unremarkable killer. She is not worth the intense love or the intense hate that is being, or much less a side v side affair that is coming out. She's not worth it. So I don't know why people are giving it this much energy. Like, for me, I'm just go, okay, Skull Merchant's coming out soon. I'm gonna buy it because I always buy every DLC because I'm a content creator, and then I'll be looking forward to what comes out next. Then I just kind of like put her in the back of my brain. I'll play her sometimes for build requests, and I probably won't play her willingly. And she just goes back into the other, like the pit of like the other pile of killers that, you know, I don't play very often, if at all. So yeah, nothing much changes for me. Nothing much changes for a lot of people. But yeah, just don't give her that energy. Don't give the argument that energy. Like, there's not enough going on for it to really matter. So yeah, that's it for today's video, friends. What do you feel about the Skull Merchant? Do you like her? Do you hate her? How do you feel about the weird side-by-side discourse surrounding her? Let me know down in the comments below. But that's gonna be it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching, friends. But I do upload daily, so I will see you tomorrow. But if I don't, I'll see you when I see you. Goodbye.